Good evening, line 6. You're on BBC Southern Counties Radio. Hello.
Oh, aren't you wonderful? When you stop blowing your own trumpet, might we have somebody else on?
Hello,
That's actually nearly thrown you for a moment, full of your own importance, hasn't it?
Yeah, I am important.
You don't like it, do you? You don't like it if somebody matches you at all.
Well, you try then, go on.
I don't want to match you. I don't think you're worth it. You're a megalomaniac.
I've never met anybody who could
idiot
match
at the
me.
BBC has decided to put you on at prime time.
One of the best bits about it is that you don't like it.
Put your callers down.
The best thing about it is that you don't like it. I love that.
Oh, it gives you a buzz, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, and where'd you go from there?
What do you mean, where do I go from there? That's not a question.
You don't have to make any changes. You stay the same.
It's not a question.
Because you think you've got what it takes.
Yeah.
And if we all switch off, would it get rid of you?
I hope you do.
I wonder how many people, if we all switched off, will we get somebody else on a Saturday night?
The thing is,
poor lonely hearts that are listening.
I'll tell you, would you like to know why I like annoying you?
It doesn't annoy me. I think you're absolutely pathetic.
Am I annoying you?
Well, you're not really worth being annoyed by, but you're full of your self-importance.
Do you know why? Do you know why I appreciate it? Do you know why I enjoy doing that?
People that like to listen and ring in, you put down and you eat for breakfast.
You're a hateful piece of work.
Of course I'm a hateful piece of work.
And that's why I like annoying you.
I haven't actually bothered to switch off, but I'm going to now.
Spend time in the same country as you.
Well, actually,
you're not interested in other people. You're not interested in other ideas. You're not interested in people.
Let me speak.
You're not. No, you're the one who keeps talking. I'm going to keep talking whilst you're talking, because at least what I say is interesting and intelligent and modern and caring and decent. Arsehole, bloody. What's the matter with you, woman? You've got a foul mouth. A foul mouth, and I dare say you've got a foul mind. And if you've got a foul soul as well. Have you got a soul at all? Have you got a soul at all? Tell me the nicest. What's the nicest thing you've done this year to date?
Well, you wouldn't understand it because you're so full of yourself.
Go on, you tell us.
You wouldn't understand ordinary things.
Bitter. You're bitter, woman.
I'm not bitter at all.
Cynical, rude, cruel, nasty.
And you've got prime time, and all you do is talk to your little girl, full of yourself and
Hark at you. Hark at you. You're a nasty piece of work, woman.
All the callers that have made comments.
You are such a nasty piece of work. You haven't got a single argument except I don't like you.
Grow up, boy.
I don't like you. That's all you can say is I don't like you. I don't like it. Yes, I have. You tell me one thing I've got wrong.
Like it. All right, mate. Well,
you tell me one thing that I've got wrong.
Waste of time, and don't talk while I'm talking. It's bloody rude.
You're bloody rude. You're the rudest person I've met for a long, long time.
Oh, thank God I haven't met you.
Yeah, well, why don't you come around here and see if you can handle it?
Where are you?
Brighton. Just down from the station.
Which station, darling?
Brighton bloody station, darling arsehole.
Well, arsehole, that's
what you call me.
Well, darling,
that's what you call me. You use the word arsehole and then you don't like being called an arsehole. What kind of an arsehole are you?
You can't get another job, presumably.
I don't have to do this one. I do it for love.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The love of humanity. Including you. And I'm sad for you. Because you haven't got a single constructive argument, just hate. Bitterness.
I don't have any.
That's all you've got. You haven't got an articulate argument, a considered argument.
Oh,
you haven't told me anything.
You have an argument you don't rate in your
You haven't told me anything. You haven't said anything.
Because you're good at arguing.
All you've done.
You got your job done.
All you've done is be insulting, rude.
That's all you do to your
plain
callers.
Bloody rude.
All you do to your callers, darling,
I'm going to give you.
Put them down. Some poor woman.
I'm going to give you a. I'm going to give you a challenge, and it's this.
I don't need a challenge, darling.
Yeah, well, you've got one.
The biggest challenge.
And if you can't rise to it, it'll just show you for what you are, which is besides all the hatefulness, you're vacuous. Here's the challenge. Say something constructive. I'm articulate. Say something constructive.
The world, darling. You know everything about everything.
You have traveled the world.
Saturday night.
I've lived more in any 1 hour than you have in any of the decades of your empty life. So there.
How do you know my life is empty?
I can smell it. I can smell it on you.
And what in your nasal passages gives you the verbosity to say that?
No, because you came on here being horrible, and so you're getting it back. And you know the funny thing is, you can't hack it. You can't handle it. You can't even be ruder than me. You can't be constructive. You can't be articulate. You can't even be ruder than me. And you know what you're best at is being rude, and I'm ruder than you. So that's the reason why I'm arrogant, because I'm better than you even at the one thing that you do reasonably well, which is be nasty.
What do you mean, be nasty? You're a big boy, you've travelled the world, you've got the answer to everything.
Absolutely everything.
Why does being nasty upset you?
It doesn't. because you're not very good at it. I'm better than you at it.
Absolutely impossible.
You tell me one thing that you can do half as well as me.
I don't know what you can do other than shoot your mouth off.
Well, you tell me one thing you think you can do well.
But if I was such a megalomaniac, I could probably do something very well.
Well, we're waiting to hear what it is, though.
I don't know.
You're waffling. We're waiting to hear what it is.
Cough.
Is that what you do best?
I do lots of things quite well, but I won't discuss it with you.
You can't name any, because there's nothing you can do well.
Well, if that's your opinion, we always have to listen to your opinion.
Until you tell me one thing that you think you can do well, okay? Then besides being inarticulate and nasty, you're irrelevant.
Well, you're irrelevant and you're on prime time, and it's about time somebody got you out of your job.
You can't do anything, can you?
Of course I can.
What's the point of you?
What is I'm trying to listen to a program that's a load of crap.
What is the point of you? All you've done is be foul-mouthed.
I'm not foul-mouthed, no more than you.
Bastard, arsehole.
Well,
and crap. I don't use language like that. I don't expect you to.
Well, you've actually used quite a lot of foul language this evening.
Not as much as you.
Does it actually get recorded, your program?
Not as much as you.
Does your program get recorded?
What do you mean by that?
Well, when you come off air and you say, well, haven't I had a good run, pat myself on the back and go home to the wife and the kids, how have I treated my audience tonight? And the answer is...
You think you're the audience, don't you?
I'm one of a very small minority.
You're one of an extremely small minority of people who doesn't like this show. But the minute you come to air, you're no longer a member of the audience. You're a part of the show. When you call the show, nobody makes you call the show. Nobody makes anybody call the show. When people call the show, they are no longer the audience. They are no longer a listener. They are a caller. They are part of the show. If you went to see one of these hypnotists and they got you on stage and made you act like a chicken, that's your fault for volunteering to go on the bloody stage. And that's what you're doing, and that's what people do when they pitch up on this radio station and want to talk on air. They are then part of the show, and they are fair game. And I let anybody come on this show, and I let anybody say as much as they want to say, even foul-mouthed people like you,
You
okay?
don't actually. You interrupt all the time.
You're the one who wouldn't shut up.
No, you interrupt. I was trying to say something.
You don't know how to have a conversation.
Some poor woman that
you came straight to air and you barked straight away at me. That's not having a conversation. If you want to have a conversation, if you want to put some sensible points, if you want to say that there are some things that you'd like to hear that you're not hearing, or
you have an argument with everybody that calls in.
No, I don't.
You argue with the girl that's on air with you.
That's simply inaccurate. So not only, so you are inarticulate, vacuous, nasty, and you fail to listen. You can't listen. How can you call yourself a listener if you don't listen?
I've been listening. That's what prompted me to ring you.
Well, either then you haven't been listening, you don't listen very well, or you're a liar.
You actually talk to your colleagues.
You're a liar.
You don't talk to any of your callers.
You're a liar.
You don't want to know what your callers have to say because
Alison,
you're bloody
is
rude
this
about
woman
everything.
talking absolute rubbish, or is she talking absolute rubbish?
Well, who's talking rubbish?
You.
You're on air, unfortunately, to 1 o'clock in the morning, and if we all switched off, I hope you lose your job.
Well, why don't you do that? Because I don't want you listening. She's gone. Now, she's hung up. She's going to pretend that she was cut off.
Yeah, but she
up.
Definitely hung up.
Yeah. Well, why don't people like that just listen to something else?
I don't know.
Or put a record on.
That's what that little knob thing on the radio is for. You just turn it around and you can listen to something else.
Good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
She got that off her chest. I bet that made her feel quite good. And I don't mind, because there's something of the element of kind of the Aunt Sally about it anyway, you know, chucking rotten tomatoes at the poor bloke in the stocks. And that's what she was having a pop at. Line 3, good evening, you're on BBC Southern Counties Radio. Sorry, I've got to crack on and try and get all these calls in. Hello?
Well, I think you want to get off with your dirty, filthy mouth.
Oh, well, it was the woman.
We've heard you enough on a Saturday night. Now it's time they got rid of you.
What's your name, then? Puts the phone down. How come an old lady can call me a bastard, an arsehole, and my show's a load of crap, and I'm foul-mouthed?
It's your fault.
I'm foul-mouthed. How does that work?
Because I don't listen.
Can you explain that? Can you explain that?
Nope.
How does that work?
It's scary.
Line 1, good evening, you're on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Right, well, I'll have a go at you, Tommy. That lady who came on and gave a few names had justification in calling you, so you're the worst announcer that we've got on the radio. You think you know everything. You're a bloody waste of time, man.
Are you going to stand up the argument, or are you going to clear off like a coward?
Boy.
Coward, they are.
Another one bites the dust.
Coward, see that?
I love the way they called you an announcer.
I haven't got the, I know, announcer.
You're the worst announcer.
This is the BBC. Hello, and welcome to the BBC. This is your announcer, Tom Boyd, with you. This is